This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV. It's Riyadh season here in Riyadh. It's pre-weighing.
It's Groundhog Day.
What?
It's Groundhog Day. Every
like
day's the same.
I feel like I don't need to introduce you anymore. Like,
Oh,
you know.
right. Why is that then?
I feel like people are just going to know who you are now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't get stopped or anything like that, or asked who I am. But a couple of handshakes here and there, but I think that's about it.
Just give me a summary, obviously, just before we approach this evening's ceremonial weighing. Like a little bit of an insight into the week, how it's been.
The week's been absolutely great. Obviously, this is a wind-down week for everybody. Tyson, you know, sort of, he scales right down his training, light training. He does a bit of pad work. Maybe has a run, but you can't really run here, can you? It's not the sort of place you can run. You know, you get knocked over if you run. Yeah, just a scaling down, eating properly, keeping loose. There's a lot of work to do, as you know. I mean, these press conferences and behind the scenes, there's a lot of work, isn't there, Cassius?
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously there's a lot as in terms of Team Fury out here, but I've seen kind of the last 3 days especially have been quite manic, and everything's happening of an evening as well. So by the time everything finishes, it's quite late, isn't it? Compared to normal.
It's I've been getting finished at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then getting up at 7 and starting all over again. And it's very hard work, very takes a toll on you. And I think I'll crash sooner or later because I can't take much more. It's non-stop.
Tyson's mood this week seems to have been very relaxed. He's been in good form every day this week at the press thing. We saw obviously yesterday. I don't know who took the limelight, whether it was John or Tyson yesterday, but that was rather eventful, that press conference.
John's a showman, isn't he? He's the greatest showman. He's. I think actually people are really warming to John. They just like the antics, don't they? Some people say it's WWE, it's John Fury again. But it was a little bit boring without him, and I think you'll agree with me that wherever he goes, till he gets on that stage, it does get a little bit same, doesn't it? It's like, you know, hello, you know, what's your name, where are you from? Like that type of carry on, you know? Yeah,
I think we're kind of used to it, obviously back-to-back from Tommy's fight with KSI in Manchester, and now, in Riyadh. But, everyone was talking about it, so ultimately, you're right, he is a showman.
The world's greatest showman, I would say. I mean, he didn't have to be asked twice, did he? He's all for his son. I mean, he doesn't get paid for it. He doesn't, you know, they don't pay him to get on stage. He's just all for his son, isn't he? I mean, you know, all of his sons, all of them, he loves them equally. And I suppose it's a very special moment for him. He's not getting any younger. Things like this don't come along every day, do they? This is a lifetime thing, isn't it? So for him to jump up there and enjoy himself, Mike Tyson loved it, didn't he? Yeah. Did you see him? He absolutely loved it.
He got Mike Tyson going, really, didn't he?
Honestly, I was at a little function with him the evening before, and we had a chat for I don't know, an hour, and I had a story from Ernie Shavers where he done an unlicensed or a white collar boxing event for us. And I told the guy, whatever you do not hit Ernie Shavers very hard because you're gonna get one back. So he did, and not only did Ernie break his jaw, but he broke his leg at the same time. So he used that yesterday as an analogy for Francis Ngannou. Yeah. So it was, you know, it's been all great fun, and you know, Mike Tyson was telling me how proud he was that and he couldn't believe it, and this is ordained that this has happened. So, but everything's so strange, isn't it? You know, he's born Tyson, then he's fighting an MMA fighter, and Mike Tyson's trained him. I mean, how weird it is.
You couldn't make it up.
You can't make it up, can you? It's crazy.
Absolutely. Obviously, there's no Tyson Fury fight week that goes ahead without several talking points, and one of the talking points this week has been the situation with Talksport, which we know you've already addressed. Frank Warren went on Talksport yesterday with Simon Jordan. I don't know whether you've watched it.
Look, I haven't seen the interview, But apparently everybody was telling me that he was calling Tyson a big kid. I mean, look, come on, Simon. Grow up, son. It's ridiculous. We all know you want to be at the fight. We all know you love Tyson. We all know you've had a kick in the balls here because you've been that horrible and you've been that vindictive and that nasty. You might say you haven't, but you have. And I think everybody would agree with me. Would you agree with that?
Well, look, I'm going to fence it on this one,
Well, why are you
Spencer.
gonna fence it? Why
I'm going to
should you
fence it.
it?
No,
Why? But why? You got no balls?
It's not about that.
Well, you can't.
What's the question? What are you asking me?
Right. Well, the question is, do you think Simon Jordan has been bang out of order, knowing what you know now? Come on.
I'm not going to get into this. This is not my place to be.
That's a shithouse trick.
No, not really, Spencer, at all. That's not.
Well,
that's not.
it is.
It's not.
It's a journalistic trick.
It's not my job here, or it's not really my situation
we're not
to be saying that Simon Jordan's
No, we're not.
bang out of order. But listen.
Well, you told me the other day. You said to me he's bang out of order, Simon Jordan.
Did I?
So what? Yeah, you did. So why are you fibbing?
I don't remember saying that, to be honest with you.
I can assure you.
Well, listen,
exactly
all this will be left in, but
I bet it's not.
I bet it is left in.
I bet it's not.
I bet it is left in.
We'll see.
But in reference to what you were talking about, I watched the interview yesterday.
Yeah.
And
I didn't, so...
Right, okay.
I didn't, so go on.
A little bit of context about what Simon was saying. Simon was saying to Frank that it wasn't a case of Simon Jordan saying that Fury had or was ducking Usyk. It was a question from whether it was Alex Krasik or Igis Klimas, I'm not sure, but they were saying that. And Simon was saying, if that's the case, then Tyson should be ashamed of himself. So it wasn't an implication from Simon. He was saying
ashamed of himself. That is. If he did say that, he's completely bang out of order. Because I've had many conversations with Usyk's management. Not Kras's, Igis, and he never said anything to the point. He never mentioned that Tyson was ducking. He said it's all in jest and it's all obviously this has been taken out of context. But he never said that to me, Igis, at all. Absolutely not. And I've actually got him saying that on video, but I can't let that go because I'm going to keep that for myself. That video, but I've got him saying on video, listen, it's the business. That was addressed to Tyson as well. It's only a business, no hard feelings, don't take it personally. So it's all a big game, isn't it?
Well, one of the points has been from your side as well, if you're going to slate the fight, why do you want to be at the fight?
Exactly.
Which, I mean, that's clear as day that fight has been slated, especially from Simon Jordan.
Well, he's the main instigator of that, isn't he? He's the main instigator of all this slating. And it doesn't make any sense. He doesn't want to be at the fight, but he can't take Tyson's name out of his mouth. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, maybe he's got a little bit of an obsession with Tyson. But I think what I've seen personally, I've got nothing against Simon Jordan, except Tyson's my very close friend. I manage him, and what he said and the denigration that he's had against him is despicable. That's my view. Everybody else might laugh and say, what's that silly fat idiot talking about? You know what I mean? But that's my view. And I was sitting next to Gareth last night, and Gareth said he was bang out of order. So Gareth maybe won't come out and say it, but I'm just telling you what Gareth told me. He told me that he thought Simon was bang out of order. So that's a colleague of his who works for him. And just so we put this straight, because I'm going to keep talking about Simon Jordan, and we're just giving him more and more, you're giving him more and more coverage. I think you're in it together, you two. Anyway.
We're certainly not. I can assure you, whoever's watching this.
What I'm going to say is this. I spoke to Simon Jordan's boss. He rang me, a very nice guy called Liam. He apologised on Simon Jordan's behalf, number one. He then apologised on the channel's behalf, number two. Then he apologised on his behalf, number three. So you tell me, did I imagine all this? I don't think I did I? Because it's out there, and whether you love Tyson or you hate him, that's what's happened. They didn't get the facts right. They didn't get the story right. The narrative was all wrong, and it's all come out in the wash, which it always does.
Tyson said to me yesterday that he will never work with Talksport again. Is that the case for the moment? Could that situation change? Is it impossible to say?
Definitely not. He will not. I mean, I don't know how many fights he's got left. We'll see. He might have another 10 fights. But in those 10 fights, you will not see Talksport there. His exact words to me, and this is, take it how you want it, I would rather pay out of my purse the expenses to not have them there, to pay somebody else to come in and do it instead of those. He was that annoyed. And do you blame him? But he wasn't angry. He was disappointed. Disappointed, very disappointed. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. Who else we got? You name somebody, KUGAN, who's as big as Tyson in this country at the moment. Shouldn't we be getting behind him?
I think everyone should be getting behind him.
Thank you, KUGAN. At last.
What do you mean at last?
Joking. But they should be getting. We should all be getting behind him, shouldn't we? Because there's a massive fight, and this is a history-making fight, and a Great Britain will go down as a legend, which we've had before in Lennox Lewis. We might not see one again for the next, I don't know how many years. We might not see one for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Isn't he someone to behold?
Absolutely.
I think he is. I think, and he could be one of our greatest ever sportsmen if he goes and bashes Usyk. Don't you agree?
No, I totally agree with that. So, Spencer, we know, and I'm going to use the word semi-confirmed, because obviously this date of the 23rd of December has been talked about for quite a little while now. Yourself, Tyson, everyone's mentioned this date of December 23rd. But are we going to get an official confirmation after the fight with Ngannou tomorrow night here in Riyadh? Are we going to hear it like from an official capacity? I know you guys are the official capacity, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, look, there's been all the major players around the table: Bob Arum, Frank Warren, George Warren, His Excellency Al Turk, Dr. Khan, Tyson, Usyk, his people have been on the other side of the phone. Everything that makes this a big event, it's all been done, barring a cut, an accident, an injury. If he's got a bad hand, he can't do it. But apart from that, we go out to Jeddah this weekend to find our training camp. So we're already thinking in advance. The undercard was done yesterday. We're just waiting for confirmation from people. We've got a very exciting undercard. His Excellency El Turk was a major force behind the undercard, and I think he's made some great choices. I think the undercard is probably one of the best undercards we're ever going to see. He's not held anything back. He's got such an exciting array of things that are going to go on, i.e. we saw that video and film, which was incredible. This one's, I mean, I saw it last night. I couldn't believe it. This is like a feature film. They're bringing in big Hollywood stars. They're bringing in big Hollywood producers to do it. He is not leaving anything to chance. We thought it was a bit close. We really did. But these people can build stadiums in 90 days. So I'm sure they can put a world championship fight on. I had a guy flow in this morning. He said to me, Spencer, I'm here. I can't believe what a place this is. He said, it's beautiful. There's loads of things. I'm going out to a safari later in the desert. I said, oh, marvellous. What else are you doing? He said, we're going to the park. They've got that huge park they've got here. And he said, I just cannot believe how good it is and the quality here and the people. So it's a big advertisement for them. You know, Turki Al Sheikh has got the full backing from MBS, and he's got a massive team behind him, and they just do not leave anything to show. You've seen it, cavalcades of cars, and everything is done so professionally, isn't it? You know, and everybody I've spoke to said it's the best they've ever seen. So that's a great accolade for this country, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So hopefully it carries on. Have you enjoyed it?
I love Saudi. It's my sixth time here.
Of course it is. You've done it before.
In Saudi, well, across Saudi and Jeddah, to be fair. But yeah.
And what do you think of this promotion?
This promotion's been phenomenal, to be fair.
It's got to be one of the best you've ever seen.
Spectacular, yeah. If
not the best.
Yeah, it is definitely.
For me, I've seen it all. I've been to Vegas. I've been everywhere. I've been all over the world with boxing, but this is the best I've ever seen.
And we've not even seen the weigh-in and the fight night yet. This is for the last 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, we went into the stadium yesterday, and everybody was just standing there in awe. Yeah. We couldn't believe what was going on, and they want to help. They want the English to come over. They really want us to come over and embrace this, and see what they think and give it out to the world. Because all these misconceptions about this place—that's all they are—is misconceptions, a load of rubbish. But a marvellous place, a great country. And I've got to say, I'm going to give it to him again. I know you keep hearing this name, but you're going to hear it a lot more. So Turki Al-Sheikh is a maverick in this game. He's a massive boxing fan, big boxing fan, but a maverick. He's probably the greatest showman on earth at the moment. So well done, Turk.
And you're the man to get him on a sit-down with IFL at some point.
I'm sure I can do. He's a bit of a shy guy and very reserved. But KUGAN, have you ever seen so many world champions in one place at once, sitting there all having dinner together? It's crazy. And everybody's welcome. Yes, bring him. Come and see our country. Come and see what we're going to do with boxing. We have got some of the biggest names in boxing in the world here today. Not just ex-boxers and current fighters, but some of the best promoters. So what does that tell you? He wants to get people involved.
It's a serious promotion, and you can tell. Like I said, it's quite difficult to explain it to people, even through videos, unless you're here as well.
I think you're right, and you go at night. There's a place called the Boulevard. We've all seen it. Where it was all taking place, and the skyline there's incredible. There's the biggest sphere in the world here, and no matter where you go, you can see it, can't you? No matter what car you're in or everything, you can see this big sphere. It's unbelievable. They've got the best restaurants. They've invested in food massively. The best restaurants, great entertainment. They're bringing all sorts over. Next week is WWE. The week after, in fact, I think before then, there's the horse show jumping at the moment, the Longines, a big horse festival. After that, Turkey's putting on WWE. I think that's 3 or 4 days away after us. Vince McMahon's and the Undertaker's coming tonight. Unbelievable. Yeah, did you know that? Yeah. Eminem's popped his head round.
I've heard that.
Well, he's coming. So Vince McMahon, the Undertaker, he just goes on and on and on what they're bringing. And so that's on after that. And then at the end of the month, on the 20th, I think it's the 22nd, they've got the UFC. And we've also got here 10 of the greatest MMA fighters ever to have lived. So it just keeps on and on and on and on. When does it end? But they're looking at putting his favourite is boxing, and he wants to bring boxing back to the masses. He wants to bring boxing back in a big way, and not just in this country. So he is going to back boxing in England, and he's going to back boxing all over the world.
I know it has been like a taxing process to get to this, and it's all like we all see the end products, but it has been a lot of hard work, obviously, from all you guys. But you must be looking forward to the weekend as well.
I am. It all starts today. There's a lunch with a lot of the champions. I just spoke to His Excellency, and he told me that Conor McGregor's flying in this morning, so he's coming. Some of the biggest stars in the world are going to be here: Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis. Evander Holyfield's on his way. I think he missed his flight, but he's on another flight now. From the MMA scene, Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, Quinton Rampage Jackson I spoke to this morning. He couldn't believe he'd heard all these rumours, and he couldn't believe how wrong he's been. I just cannot wait. There's stars that... I think we've got 40 stars over 8 different weight classes and 2 different, so boxing and MMA. So we've got 2 different sports. We've got all those stars. I don't know how better it gets, do you, KUGAN? Does it get any better?
Well, I don't know, but there's a red carpet event that I'll be standing on tonight, trying to pester people. So
listen, let's make sure we get you a few good interviews because you've got the best in the world. You're going to interview the best in the world tonight. I mean, the actual dinner itself is something out of a Hollywood movie. You know, we've got Michael Buffer doing the MCing. You know, we've got comedians. We've even got an orchestra in there. We've got a Michelin star chef serving the food. We've got an opera singer coming on. Ronaldo, he's going to be there. I don't know, I'm not really into football. There's a load of other top footballers that are all coming. We have international stars, film stars, movie stars. Oh, we're forgetting Eminem as well. He's coming, Eminem, yeah. He's put a request in to come into Tyson's changing room and come and pat him on the back and say hello to him. So we're all looking forward to that. I don't think... I don't know about Ronaldo because he's on Ngannou's side, so we're a bit like that, whether we're going to let him in or not. But I suppose he'll get a pass, will he?
It sounds like a Tuesday night in Blackpool.
Oh,
to be fair.
Wednesday as it goes,
Oh,
yeah.
Wednesday night in
it's
Blackpool.
Wednesday they all come in, yeah.
All right, listen, Spencer, just before I do let you go, I don't know whether you heard some comments from a Boxing Social interview with Eddie Hearn yesterday. I don't know if you know about this, but I can...
I haven't had time, honestly. We've been finished at 5 o'clock in the morning with all the stuff we're putting together. We just finished it, like I said, we just finished the undercard yesterday, so me and George Warren were like, well, we can't keep our eyes up. You know, it's been that busy, but... No, I haven't seen the interview, and I would like to catch up on all of it.
Okay, well, look, Eddie Hearn was asked a question, like I said, from Boxing Social, whether he believes that the fight between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk will take place on December the 23rd. Now, I'm just going to give you some context around it without kind of a mislead. So his initial response was no, after like thinking about it for about 10 seconds, and then... it seemed like then that kind of no then turned into kind of, I'm not sure, with a doubt, because he believes that Alexander Usyk is not in a full camp or proper camp at the moment.
Well, I spoke to his Aegis, and we were just discussing some of the pre-stuff we have to do for the fight, making sure that both teams are not overworked with promotional stuff. There's a lot of it. As we come out of this fight, both fighters, I don't know whether he's in camp, but Tyson's going to have a week off, then he's going to do his promotional work, and then we're straight into camp, full blast. Our camp will be probably here and probably in Jeddah. So as for Usyk not being in camp, I don't think that's true.
Full camp, I'm not going to...
Maybe full camp, but nobody's in full camp. Otherwise you can ball yourself over, can't you? Overdo it and not be where you want to be at the fight. So maybe he's not in full camp, but he will be in full camp very shortly. I can assure you, Eddie, you might... Listen, you get a lot of things right. I mean, he seems to know more about things than I do, and I was in the room, but he knows about it before I do. And I'm in the actual room watching it. So his contacts are probably second to none. His information is second to none, but he wasn't great on his information, was he, on the Usyk fight and the Ngannou fight, but maybe he's right. But in my opinion, I'm sitting in the middle of it, and I've been told last night I had a very good meeting with His Excellency. So did George Warren, and we're going full steam ahead. Everything's done. The stadium's built, so that's a lot less hassle we've got to worry about there. I mean, it's a great date as well, isn't it? 23rd of December. Everybody will be out. Everybody will be glued to their TVs. Biggest fight ever. Fight of the century. So, of course it's going to go ahead. Except the only reasons it can't is injury, splitting of the eyes. That's it. I can't see it. You know, we're planning for it. We're getting geared up now. So Eddie, don't let that narrative out because it's wrong. We don't want to embarrass you again.
Spencer, thank you very much for your time. I'm going to let you crack on because I know you've got a lot of stuff to do before you head to the weigh-in. So, I'm sure we'll catch up with you at some point again this weekend. So, appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, mate. Have a great time on the red carpet tonight.
Can't wait for the red carpet.